Oh, hi. This week, I was going to take the day off. I'm doing a bad job at that because I'm excited about this thing. I wasn't going to share it with everyone, but I can't stop laughing about this fucking dog video. I need to tell other people about it, so we're doing a video. I'm just making a stencil for a shirt I'm gonna paint, so it's nothing super involved. I've been feeling really burnt out because I worked myself to complete exhaustion towards an art fair that didn't go very successfully for me, so I'm just making some stuff that I really feel like making. For some context, there's a video on the internet. It's like 16 seconds long. I can't watch it right now because I will be brought to actual for real tears because it happens every time. I will link to this video because if you haven't seen it, it's gross and horrific and horrible, but so fucking funny and just hits me in such a way. But it is a dog. It's like a big golden retriever or something letting out the biggest, longest, most horrible sounding fart, and then you hear a really horrible noise up on the staircase. And I've heard conspiracy theories about this being edited together. I don't care. Do not care. This is fabulous content and what the internet was created for. They like pan over to a cat up on the stairway, throwing up. Just like down over the wall. The noise that the guy makes that's filming is just this desperate like, no, really? I'm not doing a good job of it. Also, my voice is completely shot. It's just this high pitched, like, God, what is happening type of sound, and all of it. It's just so perfect. And I was at a get together after the art fair. I don't even know how it came up. And I try not to be that person that's like, hey, I saw this thing on the internet, let's watch it together. Because like I get very irritated if I'm out at a restaurant or something and someone at the next table is showing a video on their phone because it's grainy and annoying and shitty. But I was like, I promise it's very short, it's horrible, but so funny. So I showed everyone this video, but the search I had to do for it, I typed in dog fart barf cat and just that string of words has been making me laugh so much the past like 36 hours, and I desperately need it on a t-shirt, so I am going to explain my process of making a stencil for this. With the state of my life and the world lately, this video is so good and pure. All right. Here's what you need. We were rewatching a show that I really like called Party Down, and we've seen it like 3 or 4 times, so I didn't really have to pay attention. I'm very bad at hand lettering, so I tried my best to make everything look kind of even. I wanted it to be that kind of like gross drippy font, just to really emphasize how icky this is. This wasn't necessary. I just kind of like the contrast of the two. So I did the lettering in the pink and then like did the drippy bits in the blue. You could stop the train here and cut the letters out of this and use something like this as a stencil. I'm doing this the fanciest way possible because I also want to make multiple things of this, and paper, sometimes if you paint over it too many times, it like starts to shred, the edges become less even, so I want to use this plastic sheet as my stencil. So I took a picture of this, put it into my Illustrator program, used my little tablet that I got. This is like the cheapest one possible. It's a Wacom, whatever. This one. Of course, I don't have the stylus with it, which I should probably keep track of. I think I got this for like $40. Traced it and tweaked it and really played around with it in the Illustrator program, and then put it into my Cricut program. So I have all the lettering here. The kerning's probably off, like the spacing between the letters. I'm not properly educated on these things, and for what the content is, not super concerned with it. So now I'm at the stage where I can set the machine up to the computer. I've been using my original mat a bunch, so it's way less sticky now. It's still sticky enough for like paper, but things like this where it has to do deep cuts and stuff, I throw masking tape down on it. It's not gonna hurt the mat, it's not gonna hurt the paper, as long as it's not going over where the cuts are. What I'm really hoping comes out of me posting this video is that you all have that video that's like your go-to if you're feeling really sad or bummed out or just need a laugh. Please, please, please share them with me. I don't think you can post links in YouTube comments, so feel free to hit me up on Twitter or tag me in an Instagram video. I would like to get spammed with this because, yeah, I've been feeling really burnt out and exhausted in super fun, new and exciting ways. I could use like a catalog of pick-me-ups. One of my other go-tos is a little dachshund. She has to use a wheelchair because her back legs don't really work. I think the username is like Princess Lilo Weenie or something. And it's just magical watching that dog run around, especially when she's not in her wheelchair. When her poor little non-functioning back legs are just dragging behind her, but she's so frantic and excited and doesn't let it stop her in one bit. And she just does this like heavy heaving breath when she's really excited about stuff. Fucking love that dog. I actually went on this mad hunt for that Instagram account because I couldn't remember the name of it. And I had initially found her when we had our old dachshund. His name was Frank, if you weren't around the channel the time that he was here. But his back legs were really giving out towards the end, so we rigged him his own little wheelchair, and it was so precious. But I was looking for ideas as far as what the wheelchair could look like, because we just made ours out of like PVC and some wheels from a Tractor Supply company. So yeah, in my like dachshund wheelchair research, I discovered this little angel. Oh, I just love her so much. Okay, so as far as the stencil size, these plastic sheets are regular paper size, like 8.5 by 11, 8 by 11.5, whatever. So I'm gonna make this as big as I can because I'm actually printing it on this t-shirt. It has a pocket, so it's gonna go off to the side. This was a rediscovery I made when I did my closet tour, or closet overhaul, I suppose, where I Marie Kondo'd the shit out of my entire garment collection. And I feel like this one always got pushed to the back. I don't know why. I love stripes. I am okay wearing gray. And then I decided I'm also going to paint it on the back of this flannel because I don't wear this flannel a ton, and sometimes I will just wear it if I'm painting stuff almost as a smock, but I do like it. And Betty Who, I don't know if any of you know that singer, she writes some fucking bops, and she had, I don't know if it was in her store or just something she did for herself, but I remember seeing a handful of pictures on her Instagram of her in a flannel with "Somebody Loves You" written on the back, I believe. Currently bouncing around the ideas of what colors I'm going to use for the paint. Ooh, there's that really horrible high-pitched squeaking noise. Honestly think that's my biggest complaint about the Cricut. I wonder if it's one of those noises, like the older you get, the less you hear it. That would be great. I don't want this sound happening anymore. Well, that's definitely gonna take a minute, so I'm just gonna briefly peruse the internet. Every goddamn time! It's so stupid! I miss having my own pets because they're terrible sometimes, but that's where the joy in it comes in. Pure art, everybody. Now to paint. If you haven't done this before, something some people don't think of till they've actually painted a shirt is really need to put something between the layers, or else you're gonna get a bunch of paint splotches on the back of your shit. The upside of doing a vertically no, these are horizontal. These are horizontal because they go along like the horizon. I'm gonna have this off to the side because the pockets here, I think it'll be funky, but because of the stripes, I know it's gonna be even and not cockeyed, which is great. And this is a plaid, which has lines to follow on it as well. Gonna lay this down. I was gonna go for like a royal blue, but hey, I don't have enough paint in the bottle for it, and I'm not gonna go buy anything for this. And I don't think a dark blue would show up against this, where this will kind of pop more. So I'm using a sponge brush, and I'm gonna go straight down so there's as little bleed as possible. Just gonna have the little cutouts in the D and the O and the A and stuff. I'm just gonna paint through it because the Cricut didn't cut them out, and it's gonna be too much of a pain in the ass to try to make little inserts there and tape them down. So fuck it. This will probably need more than one coat. Yeah, I feel like painting t-shirts was one of my first crafty adventures. I grew up in other people's hand-me-downs, so it was a way to customize other people's clothes that I wouldn't have picked out for myself and make them my own. I feel like there's just this inherent craftiness in people that have to be resourceful because of finances or, you know, whatever other reasoning you may have, because that's part of surviving, is making use of what you have around you. Not to go into like, oh, I had such a difficult childhood. Everyone had a difficult childhood. But I'm very thankful for having kind of a tough upbringing in a financial sense, because I think it makes budgeting a lot easier. I'm not like a big shopper. And this is not to shit on people that do find joy in, you know, buying jewelry or whatever, but sometimes I find myself watching haul videos. It just seems like such a different lifestyle from me. Of course, I go and buy clothes every once in a while. I'll go to the thrift store and hunt for something, and sometimes a friend or a cousin will talk me into just fucking buying a new thing. It's just an expense I feel like a lot of other people have that is just not on my radar. So I'm just gonna let this dry for a bit before I add another coat. I did kind of just do 2 coats, so I'm gonna give it a minute and then go over it with a third. It probably won't take as many coats if you're doing a light colored shirt with dark colored paint, but because this is a dark color gray and I'm doing a very light lilac color. It's gonna take longer to become opaque, but it's all good. I'm not in a rush to do anything today, and that feels really nice. Okay, I just finished the third coat and I'm peeling this off so I can start on the other one. It's not perfect. This is old paint, so it had some like paint boogers in it, but it's already a horribly disgusting concept, so hey, let's be extra gross with it, huh? Oh my god, it's so good. Okay, I lied. I lied to all of you. I'm very deceptive and sneaky. I'm gonna do something else for the flannel, like the idea of painting something onto the back of it, but it does feel a little silly to have two of the same thing. Okay, this is me in the future after I ended the entire video, changing my mind again, and I am gonna do the flannel with the words rearranged differently, because I sent the picture to Lego Boyfriend. I got really mad when he wrote back to me and was like, it should be dog fart, cat barf, rather than dog fart, barf cat. And then I stared at it for a really long time, being like defensive of the design I had. Then I laid it out in the way he had mentioned, and I do like it a lot more, so I'm gonna put that on the flannel, and then I will have two different versions, and it's gonna be great. I was totally fine with the shirt until I really like looked at how the other phrasing looked, and I wanted that more. Damn it, the man had a good idea, and I'm gonna go with it. Okay, I did it, and fucking A, I already like it a lot more. I really should wait till it dries to peel these off, but I'm impatient. I like it so much. Oh, and I'm so glad, yeah, this spacing is a lot better too. Well shit, I'm glad I did a second try. You ever just assume your shit is zoomed in because you don't ever fit in frame, but no, you're just fucking huge. But hey, guess what? I finally colored my hair, although it's already faded because I dyed it like a week ago. Although wait a second, it was already re-dyed when I did the rest of this video. Okay, great. Yeah, I shaved the sides again because it was getting exhausting trying to keep the fluff manageable. I got cowlicks for days and I will not stand for it. Yeah, so I'm gonna be that person playing with my hair a bunch. I just washed it like an hour ago. It's still all extra floppy. Really never know what to do with it. Holy shit, none of this is relevant to what I came here to talk about today. Did the thing. It's here. I hope that's looking okay. I have no way to tell. I think I already filmed the outro part, so I'm gonna jump to that in a second. But this design has been requested in patch form by like a bunch of people. So I'm gonna make some patches just on scraps of canvas. Okay, hey, hi, Editing Fairy is here. Here are the patches I picked out for the actual fabrics. The only real option for the back patch size is like a navy canvas and a black canvas. Everything else is gonna have to be the smaller patches. Also, I'm really fucking bad at mentioning my P.O. box. So again, here I am in my dressing robe because it's cold out. The address is Sewing Nerd Studios, P.O. Box 751, Londonderry, New Hampshire 03053. We did it. We fucking got it in there. So back to the thing, where I probably at the end of the clip say back to the thing. Probably this size for the full back patches I'm making, and then just like almost index card size for smaller patches. The response to the post I made about it on my Instagram in this past week has been surprisingly overwhelming in a good way. Like, I didn't really expect anybody else to find this funny, so I'm glad that's the case and that there's a request for patches of it. But yeah, so anyway, if you are a person that wants it, just, yeah, send me $5 for a small one or $7 for a big one. Let me know if you have a color preference. Oh, and that'll cover postage. I guess all the shit I've been making for my Etsy shop and my artist tables are not what the people want. They want really, really dumb sayings on a patch. As someone with like a ska punk background, I feel like I'm going back to my roots a little bit with that. So yeah, I think this is hilarious. Back to whatever the hell I was saying a few days ago. Oh, I didn't even turn the studio lights on. Oh well. Back to the more proper filming I was doing earlier. As happens sometimes, this was not much in the way of me telling you things you didn't already know. I'm sure that's not why most of you come here anyway. Not a super involved project, and I'm really happy with how this stupid thing turned out. If you want to hear me talk about the art fair, I will post another video about that. I hope you're all taking care of yourselves. If you have pictures of shirts you've been painting yourself, or just whatever your current projects are, tell me about them in the comments or tag me in Twitter and Instagram posts, because I really like seeing that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you all on Wednesday. The world isn't always a total pit of despair.